Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another happy hour hangout. Thank you for your patience. Took me a long time to get here today. As you can see, we're in holiday spirit here. It is Halloween time, and it is time to play a game. Shall we? Who do we have in chat today? Who do we have in chat today? I see Yakmanda is here. I see Gussernot is probably lingering about. Such great times to see you all. Oh, I have had quite the day, my friends, but I am glad to be here with you all. I'm going to be playing one of my favorite games. It's a little game known as Cat Sudoku. You might have heard about it somewhere. And today we are going to play that. And I'm going to change back into my normal voice because I don't think I could actually talk talk like that for this long. So again, I'm going to post the link in the chat for everyone if they want to play along. You can go on to the Board Game Geek website for Cat Sudoku, and our friend Ruel Gaviola and family got to play this one. This version of Cat Sudoku. It's a special promo edition. And they were kind enough to post the link onto Board Game Geek. So I will share the link to their video. And in the description, you will see the link to today's page to play Cat Sudoku with us. Yes, today is a special day. I'm looking forward to the Halloween season, so I thought I'd get a little dressed up. Oh boy, everyone thought it was me the whole time. Okay, done with that there. All right, so I am going to go down to the table and see about having people go to learn some of these rules here on how to play Cat Sudoku. So let me share my screen. We will go through and play together while you all are getting your sheets out, printing them out, getting them ready. Go down to the table here. This game is similar to regular Sudoku, but it is a roll and write. So you will roll some dice and write in some information. Okie doke here, we've got it. Gonna make myself a tiny bit bigger because I know you all want to see my sweet, sweet stash that I just grew today. Yes. So in this game, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rolling these 4 dice and marking them somewhere along our player sheet here. We're going to be playing a number of rounds equivalent to the number of spaces on our player sheet. We have 64 spaces here to fill in. So if you do the math, that's math, 16 rounds, I believe. So we're going to be filling those in. However, a little bit different than regular Sudoku. Once, like I said, we've got 1 through 6. So we're going to be writing only numbers 1 through 6. Similar to the rules of regular Sudoku, you cannot have any duplicate numbers in the same columns or in the same rows. And now with this version, you cannot also have any duplicates in diagonals as well. So when you're doing somewhere like here, they cannot be duplicated numbers. This section here cannot be duplicated. However, you do see our pretty mummy kitty here has some spaces between where the boxes are shown. Those indicate breaks in columns and in rows. So you can duplicate numbers if you see a break in a column or in a row. I know you don't do math, Yakmanda. I completely understand. It's totally fine. So you're going to be writing numbers, making sure they're not duplicated, and in columns or in rows, and the diagonals as well. There's also this wild functionality. So during a roll, we are each going to take turns to choosing what number is going to be wild for that round. So in this example, I've got 2 3s and 2 4s. Let's say I wanted to have the 4s be the wild. I would go up here to the top part of my score sheet and check off one of these boxes under the 4s column. Now over to the left, you see there's a little square with a plus sign, and then below that there's 2 squares with a plus sign. That indicates the number of dice that are considered wild for that round. So because I have 2 4s, I'm going to check off the bottom one because it is indicated that there are 2 or more of that number that I want to be wild. I could choose the 1 or more column, which is the top one here, but I would like to reserve that for when there's only 1 of that value. So I'm going to do that there. These blank spots over here are for any numbers that we choose to fill in. If one of the columns of that number gets filled throughout the game, we can have the option of writing those numbers in there as well. And you can see some of them are limited, that these first 2 columns have 2 sections. So again, for 1 or more dice or 2 or more dice. This last column here only has a section for 2 or more dice. So you can only choose a number that has at least 2 of that value on the dice written here. We each start with 100 points, and we subtract our score based upon any penalties that we get. Penalties would be any duplicates in rows or columns. Those are -2 each. For each box that you have checked off is -2. Down here for the diagonals, that is -2, 5, or 10, depending on what the set is. So if you had 2 diagonals of the same number, 2 numbers of the same in a diagonal, that would be -2. If you had 3 of a kind, that would be -5. If you had 4 of a kind, that would be -10. So that's always per set. Then finally down here, there's a -3. As we go through and mark, since we are all playing simultaneously, sometimes we forget how many numbers we've filled in because there are no adjacency rules when it comes to filling in numbers on your score sheet. It just depends on how many boxes you fill in for each round. So if for some reason you miss a box and you only fill in 3 numbers on a turn, or if you fill in too many, you get a penalty, and it's -3 for those penalties. Okay, does anyone have any questions regarding the how to play, or anything about why I'm wearing this ridiculous costume? To give you all a little background on it, this is my take on John Watson from Sherlock Holmes. My husband and I appreciate the Holmes iterations in all of its many forms. He'll just lurk and chat. Ooh, 11:30 at night, so the brain's not going to be functioning at full capacity. No worries, Tom. It's totally great. Yeah, this one's kind of a chunky Cat Sudoku, can get your brain kind of in a twist. So yes, lurking is completely fine, my friend. We love all the Sherlock Holmes iterations and whatnots, and we can feel like we have it pretty down pat to our costuming. He has a nice, the hat with the bill on the front and the back, and he's got his pipe and everything, and the ascot, and it looks pretty good. Does the mustache give you an advantage? Extra whiskery? Perhaps because we are playing a cat game? It might. I never thought about that, Gus, or not, but you are totally right. It could be there. Hey, I see somebody. I see somebody wanting to come. Is it? I thought you said extra whiskey. Yes, extra whiskey too. Hello. My friend,
Computer
you are
audio.
connecting to audio.
Yay! Hello, everybody. I did my hair up really nice today, so
I can't quite hear you.
it's okay. Let me mess with
I'm
my
not sure
volume.
if you're on mute or not.
Can you hear me now?
Try again.
Can you hear me now? I
I'm
don't
loving the
know.
wig, by
I'm
the way.
gonna try. Doodly do 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 do
It is
do.
quite nice.
Do 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 do. Ba-da,
You can hear him in
da,
the
da.
stream. Cool. That's
Good.
great.
All right, so they can hear me
So
in
what
stream,
I
but
am
you
going to do
okay.
is see if I can switch out
Ba-da,
some of
ba,
my audio
do,
on my
do, do,
side so I can
do,
hear
do,
everybody.
do,
Do you
do.
have your player sheet, Chris, to give a thumbs up if you've got it ready? Awesome sauce. Yes, Chris is an avid cat game person, I would have to say.
I
Not
do. I
you
am a
really
cat
playing
lady
cat games,
today.
Chris, but I think you actually own some cats of your own. Is that true?
Yeah, I do have some cats. I've got about 3 cats. I've got three. I've got was it Socks, Furball, and Sevy after Severus Snape. So yeah, 3 cats. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I love this. This is so great. So everyone could hear him on the stream. I have switched over my audio. Can everybody hear both of us okay? Because if so, then I'm going to keep rolling and we can get started on our game. Affirmative. I hear an affirmative.
Nice.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all for your patience as we play this little game called Cat Sudoku. Chris, you are aware with how to play this game because you were actually on the chat for Ruel's video when he played this with his family.
You know, when he played it with his family, though, I was not paying attention. I was talking to everybody in the chat.
Okay. Well,
Hey, you can hear me now. It's good.
yeah. It's all good. Cool. Okay. So do you need a recap on how to play? Are you all
Was
okay?
it I draw numbers, right? That's what I do. And they can't be duplicates in the same they can't be duplicates in the same rows or columns. However, the spaces give me the ability to, like, if I wanted to put a 2 up in the top left and then right below it I wanted to put a 2 on that one, I could do that because there's a space or a gap between them, correct?
That is correct. You pretty much got it down pat. And the only new thing is you can choose per round which numbers are wild. And so we're all going to rotate
Okay.
who chooses wild numbers. And the first section that we roll, so for everyone at home that's playing along and with Chris too, the bottom section, there are squares with circles in them. That's going to be where we write the first 4 numbers. So those are restricted to just that area. And then every other roll after that can be wherever we want.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'm going to start off with our first. There's no wild in this one. We're just going to roll it up. So we have got a 1, a 2, a 6, and a 5. So we need to write them somewhere in the circles.
A 1, a 2, a 6, and a 5. Okay.
1, 2,
1,
6, and 5.
2, and 6.
There we
that
go.
Sounds good. And a 5.
And everybody, I'm going to roll this and we will start with Chris. Chris will choose the first one in wild. And on the top of your player sheet too, Chris, for the columns, you can choose which number you're going to make wild. If there are duplicates of the same die value, you can put them down here on the bottom row. But once that box is checked off, it's checked off for the whole game.
Nice. All right. Sweet.
All right, here we go. So are you supposed to be Elvira, or who are you?
No, I just quickly put on a wig because I saw you were dressed up, so I thought it would be fun. I thought I'd just be a cat lady right now.
Hey,
let's see.
Nice.
Yep. All right. So we've got 2 3s, a 6, and a 2.
Yes. What would you like wild?
Let's go ahead. Let's make the 3s wild.
Okay. So we're going to cross off down here.
Okay.
And then fill
Why do we
in.
do it on the bottom? Oh, because we're playing a 2-player game?
No, so there on the left-hand side, there's the little 2 squares. That means there are 2 or more die values of that
Okay.
number.
Okay.
So that's why I crossed it off on the bottom.
All right, so now I can just make those whatever I want them to be. All right.
You can make them whatever you want, and including 3s. If you want to keep them as 3s, that's totally valid too. And now we can mark our numbers wherever you want to on your board. There's no adjacency.
Okay, cool.
But that's kind of that can kind of bite you in the end if you don't pay attention. If you're just willy-nilly, I'm just going to fill in where
well, I'm not paying attention at all. I'm just kind of writing numbers. It's kind of how it goes.
So I'm going to do a 4 and a 1 for my wilds here. And my 2 and my 6, I'm going to, well, I know I need a 6 somewhere in these columns and a 2.
And 6.
And we've got, so we should, I'm going to do this because I'm going to kind of metagame it. I'm going to do this and mark off how many numbers we have written in our player sheet. Because if you don't have enough as everyone else, Chris, you will get penalties. You will get -3 for each time you either don't write enough numbers or you write too many numbers.
Okay, okay.
So gotcha. This is kind of a helpful track. So right now we should all have 8 numbers filled in.
Well, I've got to write mine down. Give me a second. All right, let's see here. And 3 and 3. That sounds good.
Yes, Yakmanda, you are correct. The 3s are wild for everyone. So as we're going through and we're getting to choose, whatever we choose for the chat will be for everybody as well.
But not for you, Tom. Not for you.
Tom's just lurking right now. He's not even participating because it's kind of late and he said his brain won't Cat Sudoku very well.
Where is he, in the UK or?
I believe so. He says it's 11:30 where he's at.
Yeah. Yep.
So okie doke, everyone. We should have 8 ones marked. It's my turn to pick what wilds we're going with. I've got a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Small straight. You know what? I'm going to choose the 1 as wild. So I'm going to pick just the singular 1.
Okay.
So you must write a 3, 4, and a 2, and then
3, 4, and a 2. 3,
ones
4,
can be wild. Yep, he is in the UK.
All right. 3.
Okay, so 4, I know I need a 3, 3, 4. I don't want to put that 2 there. Got to be careful. And one thing also to note too, Chris, is that you can't have duplicates in rows, columns, or diagonals.
Or diagonals?
Yep.
Oh crap. Okay.
So if you need an audible one, then this is your 1 mulligan.
All right, hold on real quick. I can modify it real quick.
So we should have 12 going there.
Okay. How many should we have right now? How many
we should have 12 spaces marked.
4, 5.
And I just love the fact that you had, I was going to do this. There we go. So people can see what I'm marking as wild. I did that for a reason. I didn't just write the word wild on my table just for fun.
Let me see here. So we had 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4. So I'll put a 3 there. And I'll put a 1 there.
And can I just say, Chris, I love the fact that you just had a random wig around and then you're like, I need to throw a wig on. And you have it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm special like that. No, well,
you could have blamed it on your kids.
Oh no, can't blame my kids on my weirdness. Let's see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a dice that I have not done yet. I think it's a 2. I will do a 2 right there. Okay. Cool. Got it. I think I'm good.
All right. So now chat, you all get to choose. Tell us which ones you want to be wild. We've got a couple 3s, a 2, and a 4. So I think Yakmanda and Gus are now we're playing. One of you can post where you want the wilds to be. Which one do you want it to be? Currently, You can still, if you choose the double threes, we can still mark it up on the top column. That
Really?
is valid play if we want to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, tell us, where do you want the twos?
The twos? Why the twos? What the?
All right, so we got a singular 2 there, friends.
Okay. All right, so 2 3s and a 4.
2 3s
Goodness
and
gracious.
a 4 must be written.
All right, 2 3s and a 4. All right, there's the 4 there. Can't be diagonal. All right, 2 3s and a 4. And then I can just do a 2. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Cool.
That was a fast one for you.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep mine all nearby. I don't want it to be too hard on myself later. So I'm keeping everything around the same space.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I had this wig from when I did like a selfie challenge with a bunch of people in the board game community.
Okay.
So I did what? I dressed up as Severus Snape.
Nice.
And I had a wand and I had, what was it? Hogwarts Battle. So that was a game I was promoting that day.
Nice.
Then I had kind of like warrior armor, and I did, what was the game called? War Chest from AEG.
Okay.
And so so each day the idea was we did it's an abstract strategy game. I would say if people like something that is beyond chess, I think it would be a good game to go with.
Okay.
Yeah, you're basically trying to, it's not about dominating the other player, it's about dominating the battlefield. So the way you play, you're trying to get these control points, and if you get those control points, hey, you have a better chance of winning. So let's see here what we got. 3 6 2 2. Twos are wild. Twos are wild today.
Twos are wild today.
Wild. Yep, right. Twos are wild. We're gonna keep that wild. So
fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dressing up, I think, on Halloween. I'm gonna basically put on a luchador mask, a bow tie, and a cape. And we're playing Among Us with some people, which is gonna be crazy fun.
You keep telling me to join y'all in the Among Us, and I have yet to do that. And I feel like I'm like totally missing out.
You really are. It is way too much fun. All right, I need a 3 here. That is not where I can put it. Oh, I can put it here. Nope, that's diagonal. I don't want that. I'll put this here. I've got 2 2s. What should I do? I'll trade them in for a 1, which will go right here. And I think a 4 is perfect. There we go. Got it.
Okay.
I'm feeling happy.
Have 20, 4, 5. Yes, we should have 20 spaces marked. Yeah, I watched this little clip of AOC playing it, and she like just had a blast. And I think it's so fun when you don't have like super hardcore gamer people just randomly playing this game. It's great. Among Us is great. Yakmanda agrees with you, Chris. So, all right, my turn.
Nice.
Wild 2. So our 2 columns are filled, but I could use one of these extra ones over here if I wanted to and just mark it to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be nice.
I'm not letting you be on my D&D party with those rolls.
Do you have a campaign currently that you're working on?
We're doing one for Extra Life. We're going to do, it's called An Ogre and His Cake. The idea behind it is that there's a 6-year-old girl. It's made for families to be able to play. It's actually was a campaign that was made by Christopher Waltz, and he did it for Extra Life. So you can actually find it on the DM's Guild, and any dollar amount that you put towards it mainly goes towards a charity. But it's so good. So the whole idea is there's a 6-year-old girl. It's her birthday, and guess what? Her cake got stolen by an ogre. So you and your party, for a one-shot 2 to 3 hours, about have to fight your way through and make hard decisions and good choices, and save this cake before it gets eaten by this big nasty ogre, and make the little girl happy again. So that's kind of what it's about. There's no blood, there's no gore. Instead, whenever a creature gets defeated, they run away crying. That's kind of how it is.
Oh,
So it works really well with kids, but we're gonna have basically 5 grown adults
nice.
playing and having fun, and just
Nice.
it'll be a good time. Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
gonna be
I
doing that,
really,
and then playing a bunch of other games, but not RPG related. So
yeah, it sounds like from my schedule and everything that I could possibly join you in your Jurassic or your dinosaur world
Dinosaur World,
playthrough.
let's go put that in the availability on Discord. I'm
Okay.
trying to get everybody in a spot where they can all play, and that's the thing. Like when we're playing, so 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we're gonna be playing Civilization 6. Which, if anybody plays Civilization 6 and they want to play with us, they can play. And then we're gonna be playing Among Us with the community from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the morning
Oh
on the
gosh.
7th.
Okay.
So
I'll
yeah,
have
it's
to jump in on one of those because how long does a game usually take, or just does it depend on player count?
10 to 15 minutes, maybe at the max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's super
Okay.
easy, and it's so much fun. I mean,
That's cool.
what better way to spend time with your friends and family than killing them on a spaceship?
On a spaceship, right?
Mhm.
All right. The fours have been
Okay.
chosen to be wild.
Fours have been chosen to be wild.
So we've got a
Okay.
1 and a 3 natural, and then a couple wild fours.
Hold on 1 second. Did I forget to write any of my stuff while I was talking to you on the last one? I'm pretty sure I did.
Currently,
How many are we supposed to have right now?
24 spots.
24
Mark.
spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hey, guess what? Is this 4 make the 24 right now?
So no, that last one should have been 24. Let me
Awesome.
verify. Let me verify before I write any of this down.
Okay.
1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, my friend. So
that means I need to take 4 negative points.
So you're going to I'm actually going to roll this just for you, and we'll put the other one back for the chat. But this one is just for Chris, and these are your 4 numbers to write to catch up.
Thank you. Are they good? Really? 2 threes?
A 4 and a 5.
A couple of 3s, a 4, and a 5. Oh wow. Okay, and I need to put this in there.
But then yes, you will get some negative points for those too.
Oh, a couple of 3s, a 4, and a 5. Couple of 3s and a 4 and a 5. Do 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 do. All right, got my 4, my 5. Let me get some 3s. And
3s.
All right, got my 3 right there. And I got a 3 right there. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we should be at 28. Yeah, Amanda. I got distracted. It's kind of it's my attention deficit disorder kicking in. All right.
So this is the 20. This is for 28. This is currently spots 28 here.
And we're doing 4s as wild. Okay. Nice. So 1 and a 3. Wild.
So after this one, we should all have 28 spots filled in.
Okay, 1 and 3. So 1 and 2, 3, 4. 3. Oh, crud. I don't want that one. No, I don't want that one.
I didn't mean to write that. But that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, people. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Crap.
Totally speaking of the Lego movie, Chris, my other idea for my costume was going to be Ghost Vitruvius.
Uh-huh.
But you wouldn't be able to see my face, because I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
And I have eye holes cut out in my bed sheet because that's how you create a ghost.
Well, of course. I mean, how else would you do it?
But then it's really warm to wear because it's like a full-size bed sheet. But I'm also regretting this decision because this is like a wool coat, and I have a cotton vest on and a long sleeve shirt on underneath this, and so I'm realizing that maybe next year I should think about having costumes that don't require so many layers.
Mm-hmm. See here, 1 and a 3.
Already done. Gus or Not is already done with their sheet. Did I just play? Oh, they're just lurking. Okay. I was gonna say, did they just randomly fill in the rest of the numbers because we're just talking so long? Possibly. Let's see. So we should
28.
have
Okay, I got 28. Yep. Whew.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Okay.
14, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22.
Just
Yes.
take the cutoff
Okay.
and be indoor at Watson. Indoor Watson.
Yeah.
Yes, Gus or not, you totally won. You won the whole game. Tell her what she's won, Johnny.
All right, Chris, we got a couple of 2s, a 5, and a 6.
Couple of 2s, a 5, and a 6. Let's go for the 2s. Can we do 2s or wild now or no?
We can do 2s or wild. I'm going to mark it over here.
Okay.
In the blank column, and we'll do those like that. So this new column is restricted to 2s now.
Okay. All right. So 2 2s. Okay.
But we've got a 5 and a 6 that we have to write in.
5 and a 6. That's easy for me. I can do a 5 and a 6.
Oh boy.
5 and a 6. Keeping everything close. Keeping everything close so I don't have to worry about it. Let's see here. And then I'll put a 2 here.
Oh, I totally.
And I can I'll just put a 5 right here. Got it.
Well, okay.
I've got nothing diagonal and I've got no duplicates. All right. Let's see here. 3, 2, 5, 6, 4. 2, 4, 6, 3, 1. 5, 3, 2, 4. 4, 5, 2, 6, 3, 1. Okay. Very cool.
Gus or not says if they want a partially used fake mustache, then they'll pass.
Yeah. Fake mustache.
It's one of those things now that I can't stop doing this because it's felt and it feels really soft. So I keep wanting to just do this.
Go like that with the mustache. Craziness.
All right. Ooh, almost a Yahtzee. I think I'm going to go for the 1s this time, which means then, Chris, all of these 1s are wild.
Okay.
So
then we have to do the 2.
2 and then a bunch of 1s.
Okay. Bunch of 1s. All right. So I have to do a 2. Where am I going to do a 2? I can do the 2 here. And then I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got to do a 5. So 5. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crap, I can't put a 1 there. That's going to cause negative points.
Yeah.
1, 2. Do a 6 here. 6 and. All right. I think I've got to do 2 more. 1, 2, 3.
So folks, once you participate in the extra life thing, Chris, where should I go?
What's that? If they want to participate in the extra life thing, they can go to twitch.tv/Charity Boardgamer. It's going to be, hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. I'll take the diagonal hit. I'm going to take it. But yeah, they can go to twitch.tv/Charity Boardgamer. We're going to be doing it from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 6th to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 7th. So it's going to be 24 hours, full straight, nothing but games. We're going to be playing. Let me go through the schedule real quick. I don't know who this is that just messaged me. Sounds like they're wanting me to do content. Let's take a look. Finding where I'm going. All right, so here's a list of games. We're going to be playing Left 4 Dead 2, Tales of Barbaria with Julie from Green Bear Games, Hughes and Hughes with Ross from The Op, Herbaceous with Anna Maria Jackson Phelps and Emma, and we're going to be playing Civilization 6 with Trinity Scott from Overnight Games, and Storm Bliss from Ashes Fall. We're going to be playing, oh goodness gracious, after that, Among Us with just a bunch of random people. Jurassic Parts, where we're going to be playing that with Chad from 25th Century. Then we're going to be playing Creature Comforts with Helena and Angelica. Foundations of Rome, we're going to be playing that with Robert. And then an Ogre and His Cake, we're going to be doing that RPG, followed by Power Rangers, the deck builder game. Hasn't been released yet. We're going to be playing that with Matt Tittlebaum and a couple others. And then we're going to be playing Dinosaur World to finish up. And then at the very end, we're going to be doing Wavelength. Wavelength is going to be our closing ceremony. So yeah,
That's
you can
cool.
you can find us at twitch.tv/charityboardgamer. If you want to see some of our other content, though, you can go to facebook.com/charityboardgamer. I will put most of my social media stuff will kind of absorb into there. So you'll see maybe some video content or highlights or even reviews. And we also do charity-based interviews as well. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
All
we'll keep
right,
busy.
chat. You've got some 4s and a 1. Which would you like to be wild?
Can we write a 7 anywhere? Is it okay to write a 7?
Yeah. 8s or 9s? Are 8s or 9s valid?
8s or 9s? Yeah, 8s or 9s sound great. I mean, if it's wild, we could just be like 7. I mean, in Sudoku, it's 1 through 9.
Yes.
So I feel like
so it's even the extra challenge of having only 6 numbers to write.
Yeah.
Oh, the 4s. They're choosing the 4s, Chris.
Thank you.
It is our lucky day.
Thank you. All right. So we'll mark
I
that
am
area.
putting the 4s over here in this nice fancy pants column.
All right. Oh, do I want to do diagonal? I don't want to do diagonal.
So we must write a 1, folks. We must write a 1.
Okay, 1. Here we go. 1. So I can do 1, 2. So I got 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll do a 5.
Okay. So we should have 40 spaces filled in. 40. If I calculated this correctly. Yes. Woo.
40? Okay.
40. That is correct. Oh boy. Here we go. All right, Chris, we've got 1, 2, 2, and 6. What would you like wild?
Okay. Hold on. I realized I did 1 too many. All right. I got super excited this time. This time I actually paid attention, but I paid too much. All right, here we go. Let's do the 2s again because we've at least have a spot for the 2s. So we're going to use that 2 designation. So let's make that happen. And then I'll take that 6 because that sounds like a great idea. And then I will make that 2. There we go.
6, natural 1.
All right, and a 1 there. And I will do a 2. Actually, you know what? A 3 sounds really good right now. Yeah, 3. I like it. Yeah. I don't like the other thing that I put on here, but yeah, looks great. Yeah.
3.
Okay. It's so funny because I'm looking to my right and I'm seeing the Zoom, and I'm looking to my left and I'm seeing the Twitch, and then I'm looking at the Sudoku sheet, which is just like going back and forth. So
yeah, I've learned to like placement of things too, because before I had my chat over to the side, so I'd go, oh hey, who's doing this and this? They're like, wait, who are you talking to?
it's craziness.
So now this is the fun part where I actually subtract and see how many spaces I have remaining. So you should have 20 spots remaining. If you don't want to count up to 44, you can just count up to 20 blank spots.
Yep, got 20 blank spots. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay.
Yep. Oh wait, do I have, oh no, do I have 19? I have to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh no, I have 19.
Oh.
That's what we get for talking.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't believe it. All right. What do we got here?
6. Another small straight. Okay, friends. You know, we haven't used a 5 as a wild. So I think we're going to
Really?
use 5
Okay.
as a wild that
Okay.
time.
Okay. 4, 5,
Oh, so I need a 3, 4.
6, and a 3. I used all the numbers. I didn't even use it as a wild.
Nice.
All right. Did you mark your 5?
Yes, I did. Here.
Okay.
Now, thank you. Thank you for that. I just did
Welcome.
it. 3.
All right.
4. And 6. Okay. So now 16. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we should have 16. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, my wild. That's what I didn't do. There. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. It's up to you, chat.
It's
up to
up
you.
to y'all,
No
chat.
pressure. No pressure.
I mean, I would like to still have wilds.
Yeah.
Ooh, we've got a couple 1s, a 3, and a 6. So there's still a chance because there's still openings on the 3 and the 6. And then if they choose to use the 1s, they can fill in this nice extra space. Oh no, Yakmanda screwed themselves. Oh no.
Yep.
This is the part of the game where you're regretting all of your decisions for playing willy-nilly. And that's what I'm doing right now too. Because I have this nice open area in the top on his ear. But now I'm realizing that I probably should have done like what you did and just started with keeping it close.
Yeah, I wanted to keep everything kind of close because I thought about it that I would get distracted, which normally I do. And yeah.
There we go. We're choosing the 1s. Chat
1s.
is choosing
Okay.
the 1s as wild. So,
So we have to do a 3 and a 6. So a 3 and a 6. Okay.
A natural 3 and a natural 6.
All right. So I'll make that a 5. And I'll take that 3. And I know I need a natural 6, so I'll do that 6 there. And then I'll make this 2. Nice. Okay. Cool.
It all coming together. Coming together.
It's looking nice. It's looking very nice. It's a very nice. It's like a meatball.
It's very nice.
It's very nice.
What is your beverage of choice tonight, my friend?
I am drinking a LaCroix Coffee Exotica.
Whoa.
It is very weird. It has that hint. It's basically water, but it's got some sort of natural essence that makes it kind of taste like coffee, which is very strange. So no caffeine in this, no sodium. But yeah, I normally like to drink like the Kroger brand, like seltzer waters. They're root beer flavored.
Okay.
And those are really good. I really enjoyed those. But yeah, no, somebody bought these and brought them to our house because they hated them. And it's different, but it definitely doesn't have the caffeine content of coffee. But yeah, it's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, we've done the LaCroix, all the essence, like the sparkling waters and things too.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you mentioning it was like root beer flavored sparkling water, and I was like, how is that? How is that?
Amazing.
Possible?
It is amazing. It's so good. Like I know that next week during the 24-hour campaign, I'm gonna have 2 6-pack, or not 2 6-packs, 2 12-packs sitting right beside my feet as I get ready to go through it all, because I'm gonna have to stay hydrated the whole time. It's like going to a con sometimes because you're talking the whole time. There's not really time for you to say, okay, I'm going to take I will take maybe a quick 5-minute break to use the restroom or quickly grab a Pop-Tart, because Pop-Tarts, they're good. But other than that, it's just going to be talking to the camera and talking to people that I'm playing with the whole time. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to try to stay awake. And if I stop talking and I start just kind of relaxing, I will fall asleep.
Yeah.
If I have more than one duplicate on a horizontal, that's still only -2.
So
I
on
do not
more
know.
than one duplicate, on the horizontals, it's actually 2 per instance. So minus 2
Uh-oh.
points per instance. So yes, so if you have 3 2s on a row, then that's -6, unfortunately.
All right, we're gonna do the 4s this time.
You're gonna do the 4s this time?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna mark it up here. It's 1 or more dice.
So I
But we've
can
got a
use that
natural 1
5.
and a natural 5.
So I should be able to use that 1 and that 5. So let's see here.
Uh,
And
okay.
I will make this 1.
Well, yep, I got myself posed there, but it's fine. This is the point
And
in
I
the
will make
game
that
where I
2.
know things are going to get dicey.
Hey, that's a show by Paula Deming. All right. All right. So I did that. And I did that. So I did the 5. I did the 1. And I made that a 2. And I think I'm going to make this 1. We should have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks left, right?
We should have 8 blocks left. Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to make this one a 1. That sounds good. All right, I have one spot that I know that I'm gonna get a penalty because I'm not gonna be able to write anything in
Only
there.
one spot? Oh
right
gosh.
now, right now.
I feel like this is where it really gets hairy because I don't know. All right. Ooh, a 2,
Nice.
3, 5, and a 6.
I'm happy with that.
Let's make the 3 wild because
Really
I've
the
got
3?
a lot of 3s in rando spaces.
Okay. 2, 3, 5, 6. So I could do a 6 here.
2.
Penalized for that. I could do the 3 right here, not get a penalty for that. All right, so I've got the 6, I got the 3. I need the 2 and the 5.
Yeah.
5. Okay, and then I will make this my 2.
Oh no, poor Yak Manda says they have at least 5 duplicates somewhere. If I'm reading your message right. Sorry, friend.
See, I'm thankful for the gap, that little area where you can have a gap. Like,
yes.
So you can, so I've kind of played based on that as I'm like writing it all. It's in the very beginning, in that central area, I realized I put myself in a hole, which I will get at least 1 negative point for this. Or what is it? No, three negative points.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Okay, chat.
Yeah, why isn't there any 9s? Because the cats have 9 lives. Come on, Tate Wu.
Why do we have to have this 9? Oh, spinning. Okay, we've got a couple of 3s, a 1, and a 4. So in this case, chat, the only thing that could be potentially wild is the 4 because we have no more spaces in the 3s column and no more spaces in our 1s column. So it's defaulting to make the 4 a wild.
So 4 is wild. So
now we've got 1, 2, 3s and a wild 4.
Okay. That means I have, let's see here.
Oh, I have to do
3, 1, 4. Okay, so I have to at least take 1 negative 1 thing. So 1 dice. There we go. Cool.
Okay,
I'm happy for that.
As we're scoring this up, friends, what I like to do is circle all of my duplicates, in my rows and my columns. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And then go through and put a box around any of our diagonals. Now the diagonals, what I remember correctly is the diagonals can be 2 spaces away from each other. They can duplicate. I know Gus or Not is really good at this rule. So correct me if I'm wrong, Gus or Not, but I believe if you have a duplicate number that's at least 2 spaces away, it is okay. It is a valid placement.
2 spaces away is okay. All right, cool.
But let's do the horizontals and the verticals first.
None.
Ouch.
None. 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 None.
There.
None. 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 None.
Good.
None. And none. And none. And none. And none. And none. And none.
Very nice.
Sweet. All right. 0.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So -2 for that. So that's a -8 on that.
2 spaces, meaning there are 2 other numbers between your duplicates. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Okay.
And then anything that you see like a space where the kitty is, Chris, that breaks the diagonal.
So if I have a 2, 5, 2, does that diagonal? Does that mean that I get
2, 5, 2 would be considered the diagonal.
Okay.
I think if I'm reading that right, 2 spaces, 2 other numbers between the duplicates. Yes. So since that would indicate you would only have 1 number in between the duplicates, then yes, that would be considered a penalty.
Well, I don't like that. Change the rule, people. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. That's good. That's good.
And in the game, you're supposed to have your opponent kind of like, check your score, but we're gonna go on the honor system here. And
okay. It's all right. I already got 3 diagonals thus far. I'm still counting. Oh gosh, I had 2. Dang it. All right. That's that one. Grrr. Okay.
And that's in both directions too, Chris. So that's both diagonals.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
Yeah, that's only for diagonal. Horizontal or vertical, you cannot duplicate anywhere without getting a penalty. Yep. Yes, there's penalties everywhere. These cats are not forgiving. That's one thing I remember as a takeaway in this game. Cats are not forgiving.
Well, they should be. We feed them. They should be very forgiving. All right. Gosh, that sucks. Okay.
Need a giant
I have
board.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diagonals. What does that make? What does that mean?
How many instances of that number are they just repeated twice?
Oh gosh. 1.
Because if they're repeated more than twice, that just depends on how many penalties you get.
Only twice on these ones. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So if you have 2 of a kind in a diagonal, it's -2. If you have 3 of a kind, it's -5. And if you have 4 or more of a kind, it's -10.
So I have -12 points because of that. So I had 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 -2s, I have -10 on that. And then I got that -3 instance there. So doing minuses from 100, 70, oh gosh.
Or subtracting from 100? Okay.
Subtracting from 100. So I got 79, I believe, on that one.
So I've got -15, so I'm at 85 then.
Very good. How did I do? Oh, Yakmanda got 88.
Whoa.
That is pretty awesome.
Nice job, Yakmanda.
Yeah, they don't like math games, and yet they do really well at them. I don't know what it is.
That's
so
craziness.
How did everyone else do? How did everyone else do on that?
Yeah, that diagonal rule did mess me up.
Yes. Yes, for sure. So, Chris, if you still have time, I would like to take this moment to ask you some happy hour hangout questions.
Happy hour hangout questions. Oh my. Okay, sure. I'm going to take this wig off because I cannot stand it anymore.
Yes,
you totally It is so hot in this thing. So,
okay, so I know I'm going to take off. This is the after game happy hour part. They're not super difficult. They're just little bits to get to know everyone that I have on here, because for folks at home that are streaming, I do this every Wednesday. And the final Wednesdays of the month, I like to incorporate some of my gaming friends to come play with me. So Chris has graciously joined me for this first one. And I'm hoping in the future I can get more of my friends to come join me on the final Wednesdays. And so when I do this, I like to ask them a couple of cool, fun questions just to get to know who is the charity board gamer.
Some random guy. Who knows?
Question number one, Chris.
Okay.
What is your
Okay.
happy hour drink of choice? I think I might know this because we kind of talked about it a little bit.
I mean, I did talk about the seltzer water. I do like the root beer seltzer water. If we're talking about an alcoholic beverage of choice,
It does not have to be alcoholic. It could be the seltzer water.
I mean,
Totally.
seltzer water's pretty good. I do like the old glass bottle Pepsis made with real sugar, which are always
Ooh,
nice.
nice.
But I don't do that as much because I got to work on this figure at some point. And then the drink of choice for alcohol, I like a nice bottle of wine. So
Okay.
I'll go for like a Cabernet Sauvignon, or I'll go for a Claret. Coppola series is my favorite, just because it's a nice full-bodied wine. It's good to cook
Mm-hmm.
with, and it's good to drink. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. So
If you ever come to visit the Northwest, because you are on the East Coast, is that right?
yeah, I'm on the East Coast. Ooh, I just remembered. Favorite drink of all time: root beer float. There.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
root beer float. Okay. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, if you ever come to the Northwest, we'll have to go wine tasting. We have a
Okay.
lot of fun, fun places that have a lot of good, bold red wines. Um,
Nice.
they're very, very delightful. And it's funny because I'm actually downstairs in like what we consider our studio slash wine cellar.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually got a nice display of wine next to me currently.
Yeah.
Okay, question two. What is your player color of choice?
Whatever I get left with, because my kids always get to pick first. That's really what it comes down to. So
Okay.
I am the player that usually ends up with yellow. I usually end up with pink. I don't really get a choice, but if I had a choice for a color, I'd like the little black pawn, or meeple, or blue. But usually my one child, my daughter, will go for blue. My one son, he loves purple, and my other son really enjoys green. So I always try to let them pick their colors first.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Favorite game theme.
Oh gosh, I'm still learning games. I mean, there's so many things to learn. I do enjoy a good social deduction, mainly for the fact that it kind of makes you try to analyze the people that you're around.
Okay.
And so I do like Werewolf a lot. I do enjoy a good cooperative game, because I think cooperative games for a family make things a lot easier to get along, because you're not competing with each other. There's nobody
Okay.
really being upset with each other. When you have two boys who are close in age and they butt heads about Legos and stuff, to get them to
Mm.
work together on something is a nice feeling. So yeah.
Do you enjoy like dinosaur themes or like fantasy or like
Okay.
Cthulhu kind of stuff?
Dinosaurs are fun. Superheroes. We're really into superheroes. We're about to do. We've got Marvel Champions coming from Fantasy Flight. We're gonna be doing a review on that. We're doing actually a series soon where we're gonna go through a bunch of Marvel cooperative based games, and we're gonna kind of rank them, which ones we like as a family a little bit more. So each member of the family, all five of us, we've got Abigail, she's a teenager, Daniel, he's 12, and Elijah's 9, and then my wife. We're all just going to kind of look at the games. We're going to look at Marvel Legendary, 5 Minute Marvel, Marvel United, Marvel Villainous. I know that's not cooperative, that's competitive, but still, it came
Yeah.
out around the same time as Marvel United. Then we're going to do Thanos Rising, Marvel. I think I said Legendary, but gosh, and then Marvel Champions. I'm trying to think if there's any that I missed. But yeah, so we're gonna kind of like have a big Marvel fest and just kind of discuss about the games and which we like more, what maybe is better for this age group family wise, what
Okay.
has a little bit more stress and what has a little less stress. Because when
Nice.
you're dealing with kids, you don't want to stress them out, because then they're not going to
Yeah.
enjoy the passion of
Right.
playing games with you. So yeah.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. Are they all pretty good about like playing together or is it like Dad, I don't want to play with Abigail, or
No, they all get along pretty well. When we're
Oh,
playing a
good.
game, they get ready. Their whole goal is to beat daddy in the game, whatever the game
Nice.
is. Doesn't matter. It could be a cooperative game. It's like, yeah, well, let's leave daddy stranded, and let's let him die, and then we'll keep playing. So yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, do you enjoy game boxes with inserts or without inserts?
Do I enjoy
Like
game
when you
boxes?
buy a game, do you immediately chuck the insert out, or do you try to make the insert work?
No, I don't usually chuck the insert out. I don't. But I do find it very odd when there are games out there that could have been made smaller
Mm-hmm.
because they have this giant expansive space, and it makes no sense. When you have a card game, you can make it so much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this game, Space Battle Lunchtime, easy game.
Yeah.
That actually is a good size for a good card game. And this is a card game. This is great, good size. But when I'm getting a huge game with a deck of cards and then maybe a board, make it easier for people. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to have big boxes for small games.
Yeah, and I found that, especially as I'm like shelving things, that some of the obscure box sizes are are really just kind of annoying for me, because I'm like, oh, I'm a very organized person, and so if I get the like junk orbit, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think, I mean, there's games that are necessary for it, like Ice
Yeah,
Pool. That game is perfect for it because the box in itself is the game. You're
right.
actually
It's a
taking
great
it apart,
game.
and it's really cool. And then you've got games like Fireball Island. It needs to be that
Yeah.
size. But even some of these games that are behind me, I'm like, why? Why are these inserts in here? Why? I mean, it's just, I understand you need to keep all the pieces in there, but you can make a better box and be able to still contain the contents and it be smaller. Perfect example of a great company that does that is like Tiny Epic.
Oh,
Game One Games. Game One Games makes like these big games, small packages. Unless you're playing Heroes of the Land, Air, and Sea, which you need the insert for those. But yeah, it's something simple as I'm able to play and have a 5-player game in something almost the same size as this,
mm-hmm.
and be able to play with my family, and it works really well. So yeah.
Yeah, I've we haven't gotten to the part of buying like customized inserts, but
Yeah.
my husband and I are super close. We really like playing Elder Sign,
Okay.
and we have several different expansions. And if you've seen the Elder Sign box, I mean, it's thinner than this box. And so trying to fit all the expansions in there, I don't know if it's Broken Token that made one, but it's nice. It's a bigger box, but it has drawers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put all the different expansions in a different drawer, and once
That's really
you're
cool.
playing, just pull out whatever drawer you're going to be using for the game. That was really neat. We have yet to like pull the trigger and buy it, but yeah, we're still on the bagging and labeling things, and some of the inserts you're like, okay, this is great, and then some you're like, what
Why'd you do it? It's like,
like,
why'd you do it? I
what
mean,
did you do here?
like Chronicles of Crime, you've got that right behind you.
Uh-huh.
Perfect insert. Because they, with everything, the one thing that I see with some inserts is like, that's great, it actually sets in there, the card's set in there, but as soon as you turn it sideways, or you even tilt the box just a little bit, everything's coming out of that insert and just spilling out all over everything. With Chronicles of Crime, at least they put like a plastic style that went over it and secures everything in place and snaps into place, which makes such a difference. Games like Ishtar, another great insert that I've enjoyed. Above and Below, that's the one insert where I think that it was good, but I think it could have been better. But but there's some games where it really makes sense. Like, and then you have the game like The Mind, where I feel like, okay, that box could have been a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger, because once you finally open it and the cards actually are exposed to air, it's like trying to squish something into that box. Like I have to use a hair tie to keep it all in the box. So like just simply understanding, hey, this doesn't work. This does work. Let's make it easier.
Make it easier. So we want to keep playing your game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make it feel like it's a chore.
No.
To put away all these components or to do that stuff. So
right.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of shouting out to people and their box designs, do you have a favorite designer or a favorite publisher?
Oh, favorite designer or favorite, I love Haba, of course, but
wink wink.
Yeah, wink wink. T, if you're watching. So let's see here. I'm trying to think. Favorite artist. Or favorite designer. I don't exactly have like a favorite designer because I just play the games and I play it like a family would, where I don't pay maybe as much attention to the artwork and maybe not as much attention to who did it, because if somebody says, "Oh, Bruno Cathala did it," I'll be like, "Oh, okay." So does that mean it's good? Because there's games that you could say Rob Davio, and you know that Rob Davio's got a lot of great games that he has under his belt, but he also has bad games too.
Yeah.
Just like Reiner Knizia. I mean, there are games that people like and there's games that people don't like. So if you tell me a particular designer, they might have had a bunch of bad games come before, and then they might have like this gem and you don't know. Right. So I've had a good relationship. I've enjoyed a lot of the op. The op has been really good. I've enjoyed them.
Okay.
I've enjoyed Renegade. I've enjoyed Bezier. I've enjoyed Haba. I think art-wise, trying to think. I don't really have like an artist that I really, or a designer that I really just say, oh, this designer made this game.
That's totally fair.
But like art-wise, I have really enjoyed Ryan Lockett's work. So yeah, maybe Ryan Lockett's designs, because his has really neat storytelling, beautiful artwork. The only thing that I wish that these games were able to play 5 players instead of 4, because when you have a family of 5, like there's games like what Jamie Stegmaier does, where a lot of them are 1 to 5 with an automa for the solo player, and then it can go up to 5 players, which is great because like games like Wingspan, we can all sit around the table and enjoy it. What's the other one that we played recently? Oh, Charterstone. We played Charterstone.
Ooh.
That was really enjoyable. And then we played, which one was it? Goodness gracious. I said Wingspan, I said that. Tapestry. That's a fun game. And the ability to be able to play as our whole family, 5 of us, it makes a big difference. It makes it easier for us as a family to say, yeah, this game, let's go ahead and buy this one. Let's put this on our shelf. Or, hey, let's give this a try. Like when we're doing reviews and stuff, we are trying to find things that, we can all kind of get a taste of. Sometimes it's a 4-player game that only accommodates up to 4 players. So usually what will happen in that situation is my wife will sit down with the kids, they'll play it, and then I'll play with my wife and maybe 1 or 2 of our kids afterwards. So yeah, so that's kind of how we do most of our reviews is we kind of go about that route, so that way it's not anybody getting left out. The only time that's changed is this game back here, Pandemic Legacy Season 0, which we're playing right now. And my youngest one, I'm like, yeah, I don't think he can grasp this one as much. So he gets free screen time. So he's like playing video games and stuff while we play the campaign.
That's okay, Dad. Just let me do some Minecraft.
Yeah, he doesn't mind at all. Oh, seriously, Minecraft, Mario, something, whatever he wants at the time.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I never thought about that, Chris, in terms of like player count, but it's true for like games that I play, because the majority of the time it's just my husband and I, and there's rarely games that we buy that are only good 2-player and not good multiplayer, or vice versa. Like we try to have that so that there is some sort of variation, that you can play a good 2-player version of it, but then you can also expand it to 4 to 6 players.
Well, it's nice when you see those 2-player games where at least you see the games that accommodate 2 to 4, and
Yeah,
you don't have to have a dummy player. It's
right.
not fun having a dummy player when you're playing a game. You want to be able to just play the game and enjoy it, and not be like, oh, I did this and you did this, and now, oh, what's
Yeah.
fake person over here is
Yeah,
going to do
and
this.
that's
So
what I like too about these like roll and writes and trying to do things virtually too, where it's
mhm.
like multiple players. Like last week I did the Welcome to Halloween neighborhood,
Oh,
and that
nice.
plays exponential in that months of people. But it's also good as a solo game as well
Yeah.
too. So
Hmm.
yeah, that I definitely appreciate the designers that take into consideration putting in those extra elements too
Hmm.
for those different scenarios, because a family of five, that's standard. I mean, at least in my opinion, that's kind of a standard. And so having the encouragement of having the whole family play together at the gaming table, I think is huge. So
Hmm.
that's really cool that you all are trying to seek out
Yeah.
those types of games
And
and
it's
stuff.
nice when you can get a 5 to 6 player. If you're going to have a 4 player game and you're going to come out with an expansion, don't overcharge on the expansion. Let's be
Right.
very real. That's the only thing is like, hey, this plays for 5 and 6 players now.
Yeah.
There's not much else added in components, but guess what? We're going to charge you $40 for it. And I'm like,
Right.
no, that's that a family of 5 on average is looking for a game that's in the $30 to $40 price range. When you add
Mm-hmm.
another $30 $40 to their enjoyment, it makes it a little bit sour for a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can give you an example. I mean, there's a lot of great games here, but if you told me that hell, it only plays 4 and it's like $60 to $80, I'm going to be like, where you tell me, hey, there's a 5 player game plays, or like Exploding Kittens. It's a silly, ridiculous game, but my kids love it. So, I mean, for $20, I can have some fun and play some cards and
Yeah.
get blown up a lot. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I like that. All right. Next, have you met someone in the industry, the gaming industry, that has left you starstruck? If
You know what?
so, share a story.
No, I don't get. I guess for me, I don't get starstruck.
Okay.
Um, I do enjoy just the interactions that I have with people. Um, but the way I look at it is people are people. They're people. They're just. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I think the only time I would ever freak out is if I ever met Sarah Michelle Gellar, because
Okay.
I was a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but as for like meeting somebody in the board game industry, no, I don't really see it like that. I guess that's mainly because I just got really into the hobby, deeply into the hobby about 2018, and just started kind of learning it more and enjoying it and having fun doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
um, and I just talk to people the way that I want to be talked to. I don't really look at them and say, "Oh my gosh, you're Stephen Bonnick," or "Oh my goodness, you're
Right.
Rob Davio," or "Oh my goodness, you're Jamie Stegmaier." Oh, because they know that they're people too. And
Mm-hmm.
seriously, if they went to some big event like San Diego Comic-Con and they're walking through the halls, it's not like they're going to get stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like maybe in the board game industry, yes, we'll know these people and be like, oh, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you're Jamie Steckmeyer. It's nice to meet you or talk to you. Or, but really, it's not like that in our industry. And what's nice about our industry too is you could seriously go up to a table, sit down, and they may just actually join you at the table and play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice because when you go to something like Gen Con or to PAX Unplugged or to Origins, they want you to buy their game.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to sit down, they're going to talk to you, and they're actually going to show you the game. I mean, Thunderworks Games. You see Tim over there and you see Keith over there, and they're just interacting with people. It's not like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness, there's the designer of some game. And no, it's more like, oh hey, hi, hey, it's good seeing you again. It's just a
Yeah.
good conversation. Um, Even like when we went to a media mixer at PAX Unplugged, um, it was just like people just greeting each other, saying hello, and making them feel welcome. um, Meeting T in person at Unplugged. It was just a good old conversation. I got to see their energy and their passion,
Yeah.
and I had a blast. So for me, it's just simply approach them as a person, treat them like a person. They're not rock stars.
Yeah.
The ones that think that they're rock stars really aren't. They're not because they're there's real rock stars out there, and they're,
Yeah.
if you tell me, hey, Gene Simmons is coming, I'll be like, oh wow, that's a lead singer of Kiss. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Or
Yeah.
you say, like Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'm just gonna be like, oh, but it's, and that's it. I mean, Jennifer Gardner. I mean, I was a big fan of Alias too. It was a great
Mhm.
show. You say J.J. Abrams, I'd be like, after Star Wars. But no, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes we put these people as idols way, way above like us, because we we're not less. It's just that we haven't gone that route of being a designer or a publisher,
Yeah.
and done those things. They've been in our shoes as content creators and things of that nature, and they said, hey, I want to take the time to do something with the talents that I have and see if I can make it. And some of them make it, some of them don't, some of them become big.
Yeah.
And when they become big, it's great. I mean, uh, like you'll see like when they do their podcast or they do their live presentations, they've got crazy, ridiculous numbers because people are excited about what they're coming out with because they've enjoyed the games before. But you got to think about it. Jamie Stegmaier started out with what, Euphoria,
Mm.
and that wasn't. I don't think that was very big. But
Mhm.
then you had um, Viticulture, which did really well,
Right.
and then he started coming up with strategies and reaching things. But what's nice too is about our community is that there's not really competition here in the US. Now there might be competition outside the US when it comes to board games, but the way that it is, we can all go to a convention and you'll see publishers talking to other publishers, having a
Mhm.
good time. It's not like, oh, I'm the op and you're spin master, I can't hang out
Right.
with you because that's
Right.
just wrong. No, it's more like, hey, how have you been, man? We got this game, hey, let's talk about a collab later. I mean, look
Mhm.
at what AEG and the op is doing right now. They're doing a smash up Marvel version.
Yeah.
Or you've got Steve Jackson Games in the op. Like, you'll see a lot of collaboration happening. Simon or Come On or Cool Mini or Not or whatever they want to call themselves now, um, hanging out with Spin Master, making a miniature game for families with Marvel United. It works out really well. So it's there's no celebrity really. It's more community, and I think that's the one thing that if you go to a convention, just have fun, make it like a community experience. It
Yeah,
makes a big
that's
difference.
a really good point because when I first experienced like full blown on industry was last year's Gen Con with Haba. And being T's shadow, I got to just meet so many people in the industry. And it was like, oh hey, there's Tom Vassell. Oh hey, there's Mandy Hutchinson. Oh,
Yeah,
oh hey, there's Danny Devine. And I'm like, what in the what? And like, it's just I just didn't comprehend it until afterwards that I was like, oh my gosh, this person designed one of my favorite games. Or
yeah,
I sat down and got to play I got to play some like prototype game with Elizabeth Hargrave at a meetup. And I was there with the actual designer of the prototype, and she was one of the players, and it was me as this third player. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Elizabeth Hargrave. But she was really nice, really down to earth, and just totally for it. So
yeah. I mean, Elizabeth
yeah,
Hargrave started out. I mean, she became known with Wingspan. She also did Tussie Mussy, and she also did Mariposas. If you
yeah,
haven't noticed, there's like a nice nature theme that
yeah,
comes to a lot of her games. You've got birds and flowers and butterflies.
yeah,
Very cool. Um, but yeah, a lot of these publishers, it's not like they're signing these multi-million-dollar deals where they're big money now. Now they're going to go on a world tour playing
right.
playing board games. No, it's not like that. I mean, it's awesome when they get a big break. But yeah, it is nice to just be able to just walk in and just have just normal conversations. Um, Stephen Bonacore was on Monday. We're talking wine. We're talking wine, and we're talking about charities. Um, and then like we've had Mandy on from Dice Tower, but it's
Mm-hmm.
been good conversations. But I also have enjoyed the conversations talking with the people that actually work for the charities, like Mallory Casperson or Caperson. Forgive me if I say it wrong, Mallory. But from Lacuna Loft, which helps out with people that are dealing with cancer. It's a
Yeah.
cancer support group that helps out with people aged 40 or under who are dealing with it. They're talking about serious topics. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of times we talk about different things where it comes to, okay, you're dealing with cancer. How do you handle this? How do you handle that? Well, they're talking about some more touchy subjects that sometimes are a little bit harder to talk about. I mean, they talk about, you know, relations. We'll call it
Hmm.
relations, but you know, they talk about that like, okay, how do you do this, and how are you able to still kind of do this and handle cancer, and how can you address um, some of the issues that you're dealing with. And they have support groups, and they even have board game nights with people, and it's just a beautiful thing when you get to meet the people from these charities and hear about their stories and how they came about. Um, and it's a beautiful thing. I mean, we have an amazing charity called the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund that was started by Tom Vassal of the Dice Tower and a bunch of people in the board game community, where he lost his son after 2 months, and because of it, you know, the board game community came together. They showered with him and his family with love, and then because of it, he took that same love and generosity that was given to him, and he's giving it back to the community, who are dealing with hardships and dealing with issues.
Hmm.
Um, it's to me, the charity side of things, are getting to know the people that are running those things. Those are the people that I'm excited the most about talking to. Um, because at a convention, I'm just wanting to sit down and play games with people. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And speaking of things about the industry, what's one thing that you hope to see grow or improve within the industry?
Grow or improve in the industry. Trying to think. I think, gosh, that's a hard subject. I think some things that I've seen from this virtual side of things, we've seen Spiel
Hmm.
and we've seen Gen Con. We've seen the differences between what two of the better conventions or two of the biggest conventions can do virtually. We need to see better actions in the virtual sphere. I feel a little bit, um, and to make it easier and more user friendly. I think I'd love to see a way for people that are not able to go to the conventions to pay maybe, you know, a smaller amount of money and
Mm.
be able to still get that virtual experience, because it's nice to teach somebody a full game and then say, hey, go to the store, go and purchase a copy afterwards. I think that's a great mechanic, or a great use of our time when we can't physically meet at a place. And I think for somebody, I mean, we had Gen Con, and there was a person all the way from Mexico who would normally never be able to go to Gen Con. They couldn't afford the trip. They even said it. But they're able to at least play this game and have fun, and they're having a great time, and they're enjoying it. And they're like, okay, where can I go to purchase this? And I'm like, yeah, here's the link. Go ahead, get yourself a copy.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's a nice thing, because yeah, for most companies, they're able to travel, but you think about a family that you know, hey, they get maybe 1 or 2 weeks of vacation, and they have to think about, okay, which convention are we going to go to, because all the rest we can't go to. And then they have a Saturday where they can actually sit down, maybe play some of the games virtually and be able to enjoy them as well and get a taste of it. I think that's a
Mhm.
great feeling when you can get a taste of what a game is and know that it's going to be worth the money you're going to put out, because there's some duds. People do Kickstarters all the time, and you back a Kickstarter that looks really good, and then when it comes to your table and you're playing it, you're like, "This is the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen." So if you get a taste of it, if you get to try it out ahead of time,
Yeah.
before it even goes and hits Kickstarter live,
Yeah.
like it's Tabletopia version, but still you get to enjoy it. Like I loved Embarcadero. I got to try that out with Renegade Games at Gen Con.
Mm.
I got to go and do that on one of the media days, and so I got to try that out. I loved it. I thought it was great. I was like, okay, this is a game that I want to promote. Let's bring it on the show, and let people see what it's like. Let them see the depth, the idea of the tiles. How does it work? How do these little pieces that are going on top of the ships work? It's a neat game. So I want people to see it and actually understand that this is worth their money.
Yeah.
I don't want them to go and be like and watch this game die, because
Right.
it's a good game.
Right.
But I think the virtual thing needs to get a little bit better. or at least the support maybe outside. I mean, the publishers I've seen have been working hard. So maybe a little bit more involvement in marketing from sometimes the bigger companies, the people that actually are running the events, finding ways to advertise it a little bit better, or not have the weird globe thing with the circles, which was weird, or even Spiel this past weekend. It felt like there wasn't that much depth to Spiel. I've heard about how amazing Spiel is, and I hear about how great Spiel is. Then Spiel Digital happened, and I'm kind of like, where's the great? I'm looking for the great.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that get better. Things that I'd like to see also just get better is just interaction and addressing of trolls. There's trolls out there in Twitter. So just trying to work together more to crack down on that stuff, so that way it's a more safer, inclusive environment for people. There's sometimes there's issues that people have on the industry and outside of the industry, and just even as a board game community where you deal with trolls, and like, why? What's the point? What's the point of dogging on somebody about their game, or being rude to them because of the color of their skin, or being harsh to them because of their pronoun? I mean, how hard is it for you to accept a pronoun and actually use that with somebody? It takes time to learn it and use it properly and use the proper pronouns with people. But why be harsh or crass in a way towards people because they have a preferred pronoun? I think that's a big thing. I went to Origins last year, and it was the same week as Gay Pride Month. There was a Gay Pride rally, but there was people outside that were also just spewing hate. I'm just kind of like, why? What's the point? That's not going to make our society any better. Maybe that's not just a board game community thing. Maybe that's just a whole community thing of being able to love people and to treat them with respect, especially the people that are the same ones holding the pitchforks and the signs. It says, for some of those people, love your neighbor as yourself. Where the crap does it say, hey, love your neighbor as yourself, except for these people, except for that person who's just a little bit different than you? It never says that. And so that irritates me when I have to see that or deal with that and see that side of things, especially even in the board game community. So, yeah.
No, I'm totally in 100% agreement with you that one of the reasons why I started CCG was because I wanted to see that more inclusiveness and diversity at the table. And a lot of people will think about those two terms of like inclusivity, but also diversity. And like, aren't those like counterintuitive like terms? And I'm like,
No.
Not necessarily, no. Like,
I think of the board game industry as a melting pot. There's people who were celebrating their being different. We celebrate and let them know that I recognize you as a person. I recognize you as being different and having the way that you are. But the inclusivity is also part of that, respecting that person, saying, I do see you as a person. I do see you as who you are. And I love you no matter what.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's
and it just seems like such a difficult like concept, I think, for some people too. And it's or something that they don't want to talk about because they know that they feel guilty inside. And I know we all have made our mistakes. We've all had our stumbles and our falls and things like that. But there's also that like graciousness that we can give to people too.
Grace is a beautiful thing that we don't give enough to people.
Yeah.
There are people who have done a lot of stupid things in their past.
Yeah.
And if we are just going to count on them for their past, then we will never be able to see them show change or have a better future or a brighter future, because people can change. It can happen. You look at us. I mean, I was a teenager at one point. I acted a certain way. I was a complete idiot as a teenager. I went through college. I was different in college. Now I'm in, my 30s. I feel old because of this hairline. And, it's
Speak
life's
for yourself.
different.
I've got some lip warmers here.
But the things that we may have found funny, or the things that we may have watched in the past, are a lot different now because we have a better understanding, a better respect for people.
Yeah.
Go take a look at movies from the 80s. Seriously, folks, take a look at movies from the 80s. Look at the way that they treat um, assault. Look at the way they treat
Mhm.
um, genders. I mean, you look at those films and you're just kind of like, holy crap. I watched this movie and I laughed when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Now I'm looking at this now and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just wrong. Um, I think it was what, Nerds. Nerds was one of the ones where I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it's like, oh, this nerd is like dressed up in a costume, and then all of a sudden later you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, that's rape. That's rape. And you don't think about that when you're younger, and you don't think about it because maybe you're not taught that way. But you look at it later and you're like, holy crap. And then he ends up with a girl, but it still doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
And that's the culture of the 80s is a lot different from the culture today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that we're still learning. And we're still having to deal with a lot of issues that should have been fixed even back in the 1960s.
Right. Yeah,
So,
should have been fixed a long time ago, and yet we are still here. But one thing that I do know is that there is a growth that's happening in the industry. I do
yes.
have to bring that up. It's not terrible and gatekeeping, even though that is still happening to this day. There are people that are pushing back and trying to make a difference in the industry. So I do have to say that I am glad in seeing the improvements that have been made. Yes, they are slow. Yes, they still happen. I mean, I've gotten trolled too, and I barely have, I have less than 500 followers on Instagram, and yet I still get trolled. And so it's a never ending cycle, but yet how we approach it is going to make the bigger difference, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be very honest, I don't really get trolled, but I'm also a white cis male
Mm-hmm.
who, I'm very much me. Whereas you're female, and
Mm-hmm.
people troll just because of your gender.
Yeah.
People troll because of people's sexual preference. People troll because of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing. It's a
Yeah.
sad thing. I mean, I think the only troll thing that I received was somebody in the middle of my interview, and I didn't pop it up on the screen, where they're like, Trump 2020. And I'm like, really, dude? We're talking
Yeah.
charities here. I don't want to talk about politics.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
But I'm really thankful for you and for what you're doing and for those that are, making a difference. And I want to highlight those voices too, like I want to bring on people that I feel like are impacting the industry in a positive way, and having those voices be heard and be represented, and knowing that like we can make good content and we don't have to be ugly people,
no,
like
gosh, I'm an ugly person. Don't get me wrong. I have a face for radio, but I still have to show it once in a while to try to get people to at least, I know, I'm
no,
just messing. I'm messing.
I know. It's like I appreciate you and like I said, for everything that you're doing through the charity board gaming thing, and um what you're seeing as like a recognizing from your status too, because it's hard for people that aren't in the groups of oppression to see it as an issue versus those that are maybe considered the oppressors that are like, oh, that is an issue and I need to change, the way I think, and because of my privilege I can make a difference. And so
I
I want to say
think.
too, for you to like thank you for what you're
Oh,
doing, because even if you might not see it, like your platform and what you're doing just out of like love and like acceptance is going to move mountains,
I
so
appreciate that.
um
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'll tell people, one of the best things that you can do right now to make a difference is to take your ears, clean them out real good, and listen to the person talking to you.
Yeah.
Listen to them. Don't try to make a decision. Oh, are they pissed off, or oh, are they happy? No, just
Yeah.
listen. Listen to the words, chew on it, let it
Mhm.
let it dwell, and then ask the questions in response, saying,
Right.
okay, what I'm understanding is this. Because guess what? our brains don't all think the same.
Yeah.
So you could say something and it might be sarcastic, and I could be a complete idiot and be like thinking that you're like saying, "Hey, great job," when really you're saying, "Hey, great job." So but if I understand it, if I at least ask about it, a conversation can become something.
Yeah. A couple people in the chat are agreeing with what we're saying, and they're appreciative of us sharing that too. Cool. So yes, again, I want to reiterate, thank you, Chris, for sharing your thoughts too on just not only in the industry, but just who you are as a person. And my final question before we sign
final
off,
question. All right.
Outside of gaming, what is one thing that people should know about you?
One thing that people should know about me. I love to cook.
Okay.
I worked in restaurants for a long period of time. I was a server back in, I was a busboy dishwasher back in high school, then a server right as I started college at a little ice cream shop, and then I worked for a Cracker Barrel for some time, and then I got married, and I was still working as a server, trying to make money while we were in college, juggling two jobs. I was working at a Blockbuster. Yeah, Blockbuster was still open, so you can tell I'm old. Yeah, so Blockbuster and that, and then what's crazy is I would just I loved to cook. So like when I was kind of courting my wife, I would make it a point to make some dishes and stuff like that to bring to her. And then even after we're married, I kind of made some things. Like she would be working and I would bring up, maybe some pork chops that I had grilled or sauteed, a chocolate soup that I made one time, which was really cool. I like to make dishes that people can enjoy. So working in restaurants for as long as I did, and I'm out of that, thank goodness, because the customer service side of restaurants is not fun. Servers, people that have been servers, it is a horrible thing to do, that you have to kiss so much butt just to get money to make ends meet. In truth, restaurants should raise it, should pay their servers and pay their staff better. I'll put that right out there right now, because then servers don't have to worry about that tip situation. Most countries outside of the US don't have a tip system. If you tip somebody over in Europe, they're going to look at you funny. They're going to be like, "What is this? Why are you giving me this?" Like, because they're getting paid well, because they're working hard and they're getting paid well. And your opinion doesn't matter as much as a customer, as much as it does their boss. They're doing their job. They're going to do their best to get paid. So yeah, it's not like here in the US where it feels like servers are renting their tables. Yeah, I've heard a manager tell somebody that before, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Why would that server want to come back?"
Yeah.
So yeah. But no, but as for cooking, I love to cook. I love to make a good steak once in a while. I've been making grilled chuck roast, where I marinate the chuck roast in like a balsamic vinegar, a little bit of ketchup, and some Worcestershire sauce, and that marinades for a good 5 to 24 hours. And then I slow cook it on the grill, so it's a nice medium rare as you slice into it, and it's juicy and tender, almost like you would get out of a ribeye steak. So yeah,
that sounds tasty.
Oh, it's fun. It's
and
good.
on that note, you're making me hungry, so I think we better sign off. But before we do, Chris, where can people find you for
you
all
can
the
find
fun
me,
times with the Charity Board Gamer?
Tell you the best thing that you can do if you want to find us, you can go to facebook.com/the Charity Board Gamer. You can see some of our stuff. You'll see content like some of our videos, some of our reviews, charity interviews. And then you can go to twitch.tv/Charity Board Gamer. You can see our schedule. It kind of varies depending on what's going on. But you can see our big 24-hour event on November 6th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going to November 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be awake for all 24 hours, raising money for Extra Life, which actually helps out with the Children's Miracle Network. And we're going to be highlighting different members of the board game community who are raising money. So we want to help push them to getting their goals. We already hit our goals, so we want to kind of help everybody else hit their goals. So that's what it's about.
Awesome. And yes, I think I'm going to join you on the Dinosaur World. I will make sure to add my availability on that one.
Sounds
Because that
good.
sounds like a lot of fun. And you were saying Wavelength, right, to close out the night?
Yeah, Wavelength is going to close out the night. That's going to be at 8 p.m. to 8:30. So I'm actually going 24 and a half hours. So I'm a little crazy like that. But yeah, that's what I do. But I want to finish my my event strong with all the people that I have great love and admiration for and respect
Yeah.
for, and to celebrate the end with them. That's kind of how I want to do things. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes. So please do. I posted some links in the chat for folks to check out the Facebook and the Twitch stream
Thanks.
to get more information if you want to participate. I mean, there's so many fun games that are going to be happening online and in streams and just super crazy fun times. So
Super
I'm
crazy is
looking
definitely
forward to
fitting.
it personally. I need to get my Tabletopia kind of
Oh yeah.
situated too, because I mean I was doing so many streams during Spiel that it was like, where did like I have to get my studio kind of set up, so I have like the chat ready and then I'm playing and interacting and doing some streams and stuff too. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun time, folks. This is always fun to do tabletop stuff, but I'm really glad, Chris, that you were able to join me today. Thanks for your
Thanks.
patience on getting my
It's no
technical
problem at all.
difficulties with Zoom figured out.
No problem. It gave me time to put on a wig and look pretty.
Yes,
So.
yes. I mean, and it's the holiday season. We have to get some dressed up. So yeah.
Yeah.
Conversation is great. Gus or Not says, thanks for the great combo, CCG and CBG.
Oh, anytime, Gus or Not. Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for joining me on this another happy hour hangout. Next week, I will probably shave my mustache.
Oh, really?
So
I like it. I dare you to wear that for a full day.
Oh, maybe I could do that for Movember. Have you heard of Movember?
Oh yeah, No Shave November. Yeah, where it's a prostate awareness thing it's for men to get checked for cancer. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I have to see. These are more of like the one-time use. So I have a pack of different ones. So that might be fun actually. You've inspired me now. I might actually come out with a different shaped mustache every week.
I may try to do a beard.
Okay.
And then have this bald, because this is just, I mean, it's depressing. So it's like, I always joke with my kids. I said, so then you were born, and then you were born, and then
slowly
you were
the
born,
receding hairline.
It just keeps going. So yeah, that's kind of how I.
That's awesome. Well, all right, folks, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to grab some food. Chris got me hungry for steak now. But it's probably going to be leftovers tonight, which is totally fine because when you live in a pandemic, you make meals in bulk.
You better believe it.
That's what you do.
All right.
All right, everyone. Enjoy your Wednesday or Thursday, whatever time zone you're in. Chris, always a pleasure, friend. Thank you again. And we'll see you all next time. Take care, folks.
Bye.